In this video, I'm going to show you how to create really good lists so that you can get in touch with people that are actually interested in what you've got to offer. So step number one is to connect your Unipile account so that you can actually have LinkedIn scraping capabilities. We need that because this is one of the features inside the tool. Like if I click on a list and if I want to use LinkedIn search, for instance, I can do that. I can also get Claude to create the LinkedIn search for me. But in order to use those capabilities, I need to be able to connect to LinkedIn, and that's done through Unipile. So you need to go inside settings and then integration and then add an API key, select a provider, that's going to be Unipile. You click on this sign up link here. Next, you need to enter your credit card details. So it is not very expensive for what it does. Now you need to go on access token, generate a token, make sure you select everything, and here give it a name, set a very long expiry date, and then you need to copy the API key and the DNS link and paste it back in here. The DNS settings looks like that. Now, as a next step, what you'll want to do is to go inside people, and here you'll actually need to populate those lists. So in order to do that, my recommendation is to import a CSV file. However, if you have a small list, you can go through and import using the LinkedIn search bar or the Sales Navigator or Recruiter or LinkedIn Post. My recommendation is to go on Apollo, get the link, get the list from list providers, and then verify those lists and import from CSV. Now, when you import from CSV, let me just pick any CSV, you'll see that there is a file mapping functionality. If you don't find the data you're looking for, you can just go ahead and create a custom variable, which is then going to become reusable inside the sequences and inside the campaigns. So where it gets really interesting, it's what we can do with those lists. And in my opinion, the most important thing is segmentation. So for instance, if you are trying to get in touch with a lead that's not interested in what you've got to offer, obviously they are not going to reply. So first off, you'll want to go inside assets, you'll want to go inside product, add a product. So you can use the scraping capabilities if you want to analyze a web page, or you can add a product manually, or you can even talk to Claude. Let me just show you how that works. And get Claude to create the product. So you go ahead and say, for instance, I'll do it by voice. So I'll say, do you have access to automated client acquisition? And if you do have access, create a product which is going to be inside the library. And that's going to be B2B lead generation using cold emailing. And I want you to create the different features, talking points, pain points, etc. There you go. Now I'll press this button and Claude is going to go ahead and create this product for us. This product is going to be located inside the assets as product. By the way, I didn't create any of those. Claude created them all for me. Now, where it gets very interesting is that when you're inside people, you can actually analyze each of these leads against the product or the service that you're willing to offer. So we'll go ahead and open up a list. So I'm going to go to HR. So I might as well go to pages that are far in the in the thing. So they haven't been analyzed yet. Here, as you can see, we have the ICP already, which means that this list has already been analyzed, and we see if they are interested in what we've got to offer. We also see if the there is a firewall detected. And that's really important because if they are behind the firewall, you might as well just put them in a different list and have different expectations from that list. Or you can go ahead and create a campaign inside LinkedIn so that they can be touched via cold emailing, but they can through LinkedIn campaigns. So that's what lead segmentation is for. So here you can select all of the leads. So you can select them all, for instance, and you can say, okay, now I want to check email firewalls. So as you can see, email firewalls is now started. And as we can see, we have 8 of those 50 contacts that are behind firewall. So obviously, if we put them in the same list and inside the same sequence, this is going to be a problem because they are not going to they are going to receive the email, but they need to validate. So there is extra friction. So we are not going to get as many replies. So as I've mentioned, well, what I like to do is to put them in a separate list and handle them differently. Now I'm also going to go ahead and run company analysis. So it's going to run company analysis, but it's also going to run lead analysis so that we know if we are actually talking to the right decision maker for the product that we are going to check them against. So here I'm going to select model. So we don't need to use a super expensive model for that. So the right compromise, in my opinion, as we speak in February 2026, is Grok 4.1 fast, but Llama Maverick also does a great job and not very expensive. So here I've selected the model. Now I'm going to select a product. So, okay, B2B lead generation. And here I'm going to select a LinkedIn account. So I didn't show how to connect those LinkedIn accounts, but it's not very complicated. A LinkedIn senders, when your Unipile is connected, you can create on connect account LinkedIn, and that's basically going to open a pop-up, and here you enter your LinkedIn credentials, using credentials and not cookies. That's really important. And you will see them available inside the basically the AI analysis here. So now I'm going to go ahead and select the product. I'm going to select myself, analyze companies. And here, as you will see, this is going to populate. AI analysis is going to start populating. Now, what I want to do is to select a list which has already been worked with. Go to advanced filters, select firewalls, say, okay, they are not behind the firewall. And here we also want to check that they have an ICP per product, let's say for cold emailing recruitment company, that's above 50. Okay, so we've got quite a few leads here, which seem to be the perfect fit. So I'm going to select them all and I'm going to push them into my primary list. So that's how I basically segment those lists. So I make sure that they are not behind the firewall. If they are, I push them to a different list and handle them differently. And then I create a product or I use a product which has already been selected. And then I check that the leads that I'm going to contact are actually the right fit for the product that I'm going to offer. Now, what I forgot to mention is that when you AI analyze a company or a lead, you get a lot of data off of that lead. So first of all, you get the score. So we know if they are the right ICP for what we are going to sell. And then we also get what do they need more of. We see why they could be a good fit. And then we see the different stuff like outbound signal, the niche, the language and the verbiage that they use, and their business insight. So that's what makes the messages relevant, is that we are able to basically see if they are the right fit, but we also have the explanation as to why they could be a right fit. which is then what we use inside the personalization.